we're shooting for a $200,000 profit and about a 6-month turnaround. We made an all cash offer on the spot. Now think about this. I haven't done any other due diligence. $540,000 cash, $20,000 earnest money, close in 2 weeks, right on the spot. I'm gonna do this project with 100% funding, none of my own money in the deal. Hopefully, if we hit all our numbers and we stay on budget, sell it for around 1.2 or so, be all in around 9. I'll have 100, 105 in closing and carry, and hopefully clear about 200,000. That's our goal on this project. Join me and we'll see if we can do it.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Quick Start Kit with everything you need to flip your first house in 30 days or less. Download it now at myquickstartkit.com.
And so what I want to do is I want to take you on a complete journey with me as I flip this house. Everything from how I found the deal, how we got the contract, due diligence, budgets, contracts, design, how we're going to manage the contractors, funding, the closing, marketing and sale to a new buyer, all of it. Walk you through the entire process so that you can see exactly what it takes to do a deal like this. Those of you that know me know that I flip houses all across the country, and I happen to have a deal that I just got under contract here in my backyard in Chandler, Arizona. It's about a half an hour from where I live. Now, this is a $1 million home, which those of you that know me know that I love to do high-end luxury flips. It's actually a $1.2, $1.25 million home that we're gonna be flipping. So although that's not your ordinary flip for most people, there's 2 reasons why I still wanna take you through a complete documentation of this project. One, most of the principles still apply, whether it's a high-end or low-end. So you'll be able to see firsthand everything that goes into doing a flip like this. That applies really to any type of flip. And two, you really should be thinking about doing higher end deals. The profit margins are a lot bigger. As you'll see on this deal, we're shooting for a $200,000 profit and about a 6-month turnaround. You know, it's hard to do that on smaller flips. You can do that on high-end flips, which is why I like to do luxury flips. I'm actually right here in front of the house. You can see it in the background there. It's a new construction home. And let me tell you first on this video how I found the deal. Last week I was meeting with a wholesaler. He sent this deal to me. It was an off-market deal. He had the contract. So I met him out there at the project. Ended up not being a deal. So I didn't like the house, but while we were there talking, he was asking me a little bit more about what types of deals I like. And I told him, you know, I really like high end. And he told me about a deal that they have in Chandler that is a new construction project that's about 80% complete. And so we got to talking about the deal. Well, it turns out, you know, $1 million home, new construction, most wholesalers are scared to death to get a contract on a project like that because they just don't know who they're going to flip it to. So he didn't have the contract, didn't even know what number it would be. Only had on their entire cash buyer database, he said he only knew about 2 other people that would possibly be interested. So anyway, he told me about the deal, gave me the address, I looked it up. So it happened to be, you know, in a market that we really know. We understand that buyer, we know what they want, we know what finishes need to be. It's 5,500 square feet, new construction, half-acre lot in a gated sub in Chandler. Initially, looking at that, I only had a couple pictures to go off of that he sent me. It's at drywall, so I kind of know based on, you know, having experience doing new construction at $1 million, how much, generally speaking, stuff costs to finish it from drywall, you know, assuming some things. So we did some assumptions, we ran some preliminary numbers, spent maybe about 10 minutes just kind of going through, okay, well, what's it gonna take to do, you know, wood floors and doors and trim and carpet and paint and appliances and so on, landscaping, pool. And we came to about $300,000 as our, you know, ballpark budget. So, and then knowing the market there, about 1.2, maybe 1.3, you know, somewhere around there on the sale price for new construction. So we backed into our number where we need to be all in on this deal for about $900,000. That means if we sell it for 1.2, 1.25, you know, assuming some closing costs, carrying costs, all of that, we could clear $200,000. So the goal would be to make $200,000 on this deal. With that as a profit goal, we then backed into some numbers and we assume that we need to be into the deal for about $900 total, which means if a rehab is $300, that means we need to buy for $600. I said, look, I'll go out, I'll go look at this project, but I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. I need to be somewhere around $600,000, generally speaking, right now for me to even to go out and look at this. He said, look, I think that's a good number. I think we can get that done for $600,000. It's worth it to come out and look at this project. I said, okay, if I get out there and we look at this and the seller wants $800,000, I'm gonna be pretty upset because it's gonna be a big waste of time. He said, no. I think you're in the right ballpark there at 600. I think that could get it done. So I schedule, I go out there, I meet and I don't know the story or anything about this project. I don't know what's going on. All I know is it's at drywall and seller's motivated to sell and not finish the project. That's all I know at this point. So I meet out there, I meet the bird dog out there. I meet another guy who ends up being an agent representing the seller. It's not listed, so it's, even though he's the agent, it's not on market, so he didn't list it. And this agent is representing the seller, and they're just trying to help the seller find a cash buyer. So this agent, very familiar with the project and knows the family really well. Come to find out, it's a really tragic situation. The owner of the home that's building the home, a guy in his early 40s, committed suicide. Turns out that the father-in-law was financing the build. So there's no bank. At this point, they're about $800,000 all in on the project. But due to this traumatic situation, family's not moving into the house. The father-in-law, who now is left holding, the whole thing because he funded it, so it's really his house. He lives an hour and a half away, does not know construction, is not a contractor. There's no builder. The son was self-managing it, and the whole thing, just the family wants it all to go away. They don't want to deal with this problem anymore. So the father-in-law, according to the agent representing the family, told me that he wants to just cut his losses. He wants to just be done with this thing. Until they find a buyer, he's just moving forward with contracts. So while I was there the other day, drywallers are in there doing mudding, and he's just kind of moving forward until they find a buyer. Then he'll obviously stop construction. So I walk through the property. I spent about 15-20 minutes, really understanding the layout. So here's what happened. We made an all cash offer on the spot. Now think about this. I haven't done any other due diligence. $540,000 cash, $20,000 earnest money, close in 2 weeks, right on the spot. So the seller or the agent wrote up the offer, presented it to the seller, the father-in-law. Father-in-law countered back at $650. Now we're $540, he counters back at $650, and now we're just playing the real estate game, right? I mean, that's all it is. At that point, when he countered at $650, I knew that we were going to get it around $6. We countered back at $575, settled at $6. So right now, as of last night, we have the contract on this property for $600,000, which is right where I wanted to end up. See my logic there? 540, countered 650, 575, land at 6. Why do we do all of that? That's how we do real estate, right? We go in low, we counter, we go back and forth a couple times, and hopefully we end up where we want to be. So I've got a 5-day inspection contingency. We straight up told the agent, listen, I think I know my numbers, but I've got to run my contractors through here, and we've got to, tighten that up. They have some contracts on some things that are pretty good. Like they have an appliance package for $11,000. The roof, if you look here, the roof has all of the tile on it, and it's only, I think it's only like $9,000 left on the contract to finish the roof. We're gonna be able to pick up on some of the contracts that the seller has that'll probably save us some money than if I were to come in fresh and start new there. So we gotta get our head around what's done, where they're at, how much is left to finish some things and all of that, which we're gonna try to do today. I really wanna tighten up my numbers, so I've got 5 days. At that point, we'll be hard, meaning EMD goes live, and we've got to close in 2 weeks. I don't like closing in 2 weeks on this one just because it puts me like around the 4th of July and no one's gonna be doing anything. Everyone takes time off then. So, but I want to get the contract first, so I didn't make an issue out of the closing date right now, but we're probably gonna go back during our due diligence and see if I can push back my closing to about July 15th. That'll give me more time to get stuff organized, get crews lined up, and really just kind of have things ready to go. I'm going to use hard money to do this deal, which is about 12% interest. I've got a lender here that will give me all of the purchase money, which is at this point $600,000, and rehab $300,000, so $900,000. He'll give me 80% of that money, which means I need to come up with the other 20%, which would be around 180, right? You know, $200,000. So I'm bringing in private money on the 200,000. So I'm going to use hard money for 700,000, private money for 200,000, total of 900,000 capital. I'm going to do this project with 100% funding, none of my own money in the deal. Hopefully, if we hit all our numbers and we stay on budget, sell it for around 1.2 or so, be all in around 9. I'll have 100, 105 in closing and carry, and hopefully clear about 200,000. So join me on this journey. We're gonna have a blast. Like I said, I'm gonna walk you through. I'm gonna do this in multiple phases, and you're gonna see this project transform from 80%, 75% complete new construction home, finished product, funding, marketing, and sales, all of it. That's our goal on this project. Join me and we'll see if we can do it.